this world is such a and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school, everywhere. Big business. You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme, gimme, gimme. Push, 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 push. Step, step, step. Crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped. Just, I feel like instead of us just being like, slavery's bad, slavery's down, bad whitey, bad whitey. I mean, all right, let's stop that. And everybody's smart enough to know that, we've been slighted. And we want ours. And I don't mean by like ours, 40 acres and a mule, because we're past that. But we need help. I mean, for us to be on our own 2 feet, us meaning youth or us meaning black people, whatever you want to take it for us to be on our own 2 feet, we do need help because we have been here. We have been a good friend. If you want to make it a relationship type thing, we have been there, and now we deserve our payback. It's like you got a friend that you don't never look out for. You know, you dressed up in jewels. Now America's got jewels, and they paid and everything, and they lending money to everybody except us. It's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for 36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic. That's just real. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. Look, okay, I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. And then these people celebrate Christmas. They got big trees, huge trees, all the little trimmings. Everybody got gifts, and then somebody's starving. And they're having a white Christmas. They're having a great Christmas, eggnog and the whole nine. That's not fair to me.
Turn me up though, man. Let me make sure the levels is. Hold on. Uh huh. Yeah. Everybody Can Go podcast, also known as the E.B.C.G, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 48, 24 episodes in the season. Obviously, even with that, that was just kind of like I freestyled that. How much episodes are supposed to be in the season? And realistically, fam, that's not really. There is no right number. You kind of just decide, all right, how comfortable do I feel? You know, do I feel like this is a realistic, plateau? Like if I'm 24, I pretty much knew I was gonna fly through these. Is basically what I'm trying to say, right? Let me give myself a little bit of, what I'm saying. I don't like to toot my own horn and all that. I feel like when I go back and I listen to just a catalog of your thoughts, yeah. Obviously, I feel like there's too much. I have so much improvement to make as far as the podcast itself. Obviously, realistically, fam, I did 48 episodes on a gamer headset, fam. That's a whole fact. Like, I have not, I have yet, I have yet to basically really fully invest. I've invested time and energy for sure, right? I've did some investing here. Some investments were made into giving out 48 goddamn episodes of the Everybody Can't Go podcast. I feel like I gotta, every time I say it though, I just feel like I gotta air horn me up though. You feel me? The instrumentals is cool, and you know what I'm saying? We'll get back to that. I feel like we're gonna frequently, we'll flow. We gonna go on and off with the instrumentals, right? Because I don't wanna, like I said, obviously the original format, is kind of like the instrumentals was a big part of me. You know, that was kind of how I started, right? And I also want to just point out the fact that I definitely have, episodes that are basically at this point lost files and shit, right? Because I had a whole SoundCloud, you know, I started the uploads on SoundCloud, and you know what happens is I wasn't aware of the fact that you basically there's only a certain amount of uploads they allow you, right? And then you have to pay, and basically at this point I'm not really sure. I feel like they might still have them archived. I would just have to basically re-up on my account on SoundCloud. But I ain't gonna hold you. If y'all looking for some of those earlier episodes, I definitely have them on the SoundCloud as well. They are currently locked in the vault, in the SoundCloud vault and shit. I can't even get to them right now. Then obviously I had a whole situation with the laptop that, man, I'm not even gonna hold you, the peaks and valleys that I've been on, right? I mean, this fourth quarter, like I said, fourth quarter, I wanted to end this shit off with a bang. I wanted to end this shit off strong. And I feel like, obviously minus, this setback that I'm currently facing, which is basically this legal situation. And I feel like we're gonna get into that just a little bit more. Obviously, I've been kind of keeping y'all, you know, up to date on basically that situation. And right now, it ain't really nothing going on, but a whole bunch of just, what I'm saying, they basically just they stalling me out is what they doing, and in the process of doing that, right, prolonging this shit and dragging this shit out. When really, in all honesty, fam, I really might just have to just sue at this point. Is basically what I'm saying. I need to have a lawsuit at this point, fam. They kind of had, I don't at this point. Let me just, like I said, I got my day in court. I've been kind of back and forth with the lawyer. I'm basically, we're in the process of basically just trying to get this case dismissed. At this point, it's definitely been a setback. I done lost out on a bag, 2 bags, 3 bags. You feel me? Like, come to find out, and wasn't even aware of, basically the fact that is kind of affecting, different things, including my pursuit of employment at this current time, right? Obviously, there's certain jobs that you can get, when you have legal situations going on. But at this point, until my deposition, until I get that paperwork, right? I basically it's kind of like a waiting game situation going on right now. But you know what, man? At the end of the day, I had to just brush my shoulders off and just look at the bigger picture at the end of the day, fam. Minor setback for the major comeback at the end of the day, fam. When I look at what's currently going on, all over the world, not to make it specific, but obviously, Hamas, Israel, that kind of situation that we've been kind of, all following, unfortunately, as if we had any choice, It's kind of like you don't really have a choice at this point, but I do understand that certain things are being done right now. There's, different conversations going back and forth. And I mean, at this point, I feel like personally, the damage has kind of already been done, right? What are they on their third or fourth hospital that they, basically took under? Like, it's a lot going on right now. They running in our hospitals, man. They got a whole tunnel under a hospital out there, and it's a whole thing, fam. They are basically it's merciless killings, bro. You know, meddlesome. What's the word I'm looking for? But at this point, we kind of just sitting back to see how that negotiation process takes place, and I don't even really want to necessarily even talk about that, fam. I don't. We about to close out the year. Let's try to close this year out with with our sanity intact, right? I'm talking about the peaks and the valleys. I wouldn't even be able to begin to explain. So obviously, we got a whole bunch of shit that's going on out here in these podcast streets. Um, yeah, man, 48. I said, you know what, man, season 2. Let me go ahead and just feed them this right. You know what I'm saying? I know Thanksgiving. Obviously, this is Thanksgiving week. You know, everybody's kind of getting their Thanksgiving meals prepared. Let me go ahead and hit y'all with some food for thought on the podcast tip. Do we need to even go into Thanksgiving and basically, like, the fact that this shit is like, the fact that we still call it Thanksgiving? I have no issue with basically the festivities that take place on Thanksgiving. Obviously, people coming together, family coming together. That should be really realistically. That should be more of a weekly thing than a yearly thing. Number one, number two. I feel like they use these holidays to basically condition households, fam. They got y'all out here buying cranberry sauce and arguing about who got the last and who putting raisins in their potato salad. Like this whole culture of Thanksgiving, miss me with this whole shit is basically what I'm saying. I'm about to drop this episode and I'm about to get low. You know what I'm saying? I definitely gotta, basically, right, get over this legal hump. Basically, just try to figure out what's gonna happen going forward. I think everything works out though in my favor as far as timing, right? Because like I said, season two, this is the finale, right? So I do feel like it kind of gives me a little bit of leeway and a little bit of time. But at the end of the day, fam, I'm taking up too much time. And realistically, we got some shit to get to. This is episode 48, season finale, season three, loading. You already know E.B.C.G podcast. So I feel like we got so much shit to get into, man. I'm not even gonna hold you. Yo, Snoop Dogg definitely quit smoking, apparently. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You heard me right. You heard me absolutely correctly. Calvin Brodus, aka Snoop Dogg. I mean, this the thing, right? Salute. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like personally, this is not really that big of a surprise to me, just for the simple fact that Snoop Dogg is like going into his 60s or something like this at this point, right? How old is Snoop Dogg? Let me pull that up. Shout out to Snoop Dogg, 50 years of hip hop. I just feel like, I don't know, man. Snoop Dogg quit smoking is good for Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? As far as me, Willmatic TV, nah, but in all seriousness, though, obviously, Snoop Dogg has definitely been one of the pioneers. I mean, we talking about, you know, this is Uncle Snoop. We done seen Snoop Dogg roll up and smoke in some of the fanciest, some of the biggest venues everywhere. Snoop Dogg is 52 years old. Yeah, so yeah, man, I feel like it's dope that he's basically displaying, you know, um a level of basically discipline at the end of the day, right? And ultimately, while I may not personally be joining him on his journey, right, of sobriety, I'm just not quite there yet. I feel like he got a few more totes in than me at the end of the day, right? I feel like Snoop Dogg is, I mean, we talking about, like I said, once again, where have we not seen this man smoke a blunt? He's done it everywhere. He's kind of become the poster child for it. And at the end of the day, realistically, he might just need a break at this point, right? I've been there, right? Where it's just like, all right, fam, I don't know, man. I just feel like I've been doing this a little too. Let me just get a little detox into something. And realistically, he might. This might not be. I'm just saying. I won't be surprised if I see Snoop Dogg with a blunt again at some point. Is what I'm saying. He might have just needed to take a break. Obviously, he's getting up there in age. Ultimately, ultimately, the biggest takeaway here though is, at some point we all do have to kind of, I mean, we all have different vices and different things. I feel like that, we kind of deal with, or that we kind of use to help us deal with, you know, different situations and different obstacles that we, have to kind of navigate through. Whether it's, it might be work stress, stress, that you know what I'm saying, you might be stressing your work situation, you might be stressed about your bills, you might be stressed about your work situation and your bills, man. Like, I'm not even getting what I need out of this shit, fam. They draining my energy and they draining my pockets, right? I feel like anxiety and having anxiety about different things and having stress about different things in our lives, I feel like stress and stress, these are, common denominators that I feel like most people share in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? And, obviously everybody has their kind of ups and downs when it comes to, coping with stress and coping with an anxiety, or, you know, how we basically deal with it, we all have different methods and different ways to deal with it, right? So obviously, you know what I'm saying, Snoop Dogg has been an advocate for marijuana, consumption over the years. And obviously, to anybody who is familiar, with marijuana, I feel like, yeah, we can all agree that it does help with your stress to a certain degree, but it's kind of like there's pros and cons, right? Because realistically, fam, I just feel like you have to have a certain kind of mind, right, in general, to just really even be, um, at the end of the day, we're talking about these are mind altering substances, right? So if you're not able to kind of get sober and then kind of detox and basically just have that balance, for me, that's what it comes down to, is having that balance. And I feel like I'm spending a lot of time on this. I don't really feel like this is like necessarily even newsworthy. It's only newsworthy though because of Snoop Dogg, and obviously, like I said, who has been a bigger advocate for marijuana than Snoop? So yeah, you know what, man? I was reluctant to do it, god damn it. But we gonna do it. We gonna air horn for Snoop. Absolutely. Air horn for Snoop Dogg, you know what I'm saying? For, basically making a grown man decision, fam. At 52 years old. And finally, he put it down. He's done. No more weed. Smoking weed. He didn't say can. He didn't necessarily say he was done consuming marijuana. Right? I read that post very, very carefully while I was high as fuck, and they clearly stated that he was quitting smoke, specifically smoking marijuana. Right? Obviously, there's different ways to consume the plant. You got different ways that you could, you got your edibles, you got your, there's so many different ways. You got oil, you got different ways now that you can go about this thing, right? To each his own. Me personally, you know what I'm saying? Um, as a New York baby, I mean, it's kind of hard to kind of escape the fronto and the Marley paper. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, they got a corner store on every goddamn corner, fam. Open all night, all morning. Yeah, I'm just saying, like you're never gonna run out of these things, is what I'm saying, right? They're gonna just keep this shit open all goddamn night. At some point, niggas got me addicted to this shit now, right? Nah, realistically, fam, I could stop smoking right now if I wanted to. I'm probably not gonna do that this week because I just read up. Shout out to PU Cannabis. PU cannot bust with the package though. Nah, but I'm due for another detox though. I don't know if I ever told my story about my little detox that I did. My little 2 week detox, you know what I'm saying? My little 14-day cleanse and shit. Man, I just took 14 days off, is what I'm saying, right? 14 days straight of not consuming marijuana. I'm not gonna hold you, fam. I really could have went longer. I could have went longer for real, right? But I don't know, man. All I'm saying is this, fam. When you stop smoking for a certain amount of time, for me it was 2 weeks. I'm just saying, man, it does feel crazy. Like your body, you do feel completely different. I will say, especially if you're somebody who's a heavy consumption smoker like myself. I'm basically what you would call a chain smoker, right? Like I'm literally sitting here. I got 3 of them rolled up right now. I got, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally gonna keep one of these bitches lit at all times, or I'm just gonna have one so I could get it lit if I needed to get lit. I'm pothead is what I'm saying, right? And I'm just saying, fam, like I said, we all got our, I'm currently sitting here jobless. Listen, I got my own reasons for my stress. I feel like I've been very, very open though with y'all. Not to mention, like I said, man, I just got, basically just got, I don't know, man, denied a job, bro, for something that I didn't even really do. So I'm basically just dealing with a lot of different things, man. I'm not gonna hold you. I wasn't even gonna drop this episode. I wasn't. This shit could have dropped 4 days ago, fam. I already had this bitch. But realistically, fam, everything happens for a reason, and I'm very, very happy that I didn't jump the gun and jump out there with anything. Because realistically, even Joe Budden had to hold his episode, fam. So realistically, I'm low key still. I'm almost prophetic in my choice to kind of sit out for a couple days and because like I said, it was so many different things, different announcements. Obviously, we got new music to definitely talk about. Absolutely. We got a few, new projects that drop. At that point, I'm gonna have to turn these goddamn instrumentals off because we're gonna have to really talk to y'all. I'm gonna have to really talk to y'all because we got something to talk about. We got a few things to talk about. Snoop Dogg quitting smoking is definitely huge, man. 50th year hip hop. I just feel like I don't know, man. I just feel like I see a lot of hip hop artists just doing dope shit this year, man. For the most part, obviously, yeah, we didn't really get the albums we wanted. We didn't get Kendrick, we didn't get Jay. We didn't get, a few that I thought personally, like, I thought it was a guarantee we was gonna get some. I mean, where we at? November 20th, it's Thanksgiving week, fam. This is basically like hip hop is closed at this point, fam. Once we get to this point of the year, we got a Drake album though somehow. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe this is just gonna be that type of fourth quarter where it's just like we just gonna get a couple unpredictable, unannounced, unexpected joints. December is crazy though. I don't think we're gonna get Kendrick, Jay Z, and J. Cole in December. One of them motherfuckers is gonna have to drop them. I feel like we might get a. I feel like J. Cole is gonna drop on like the 31st or something for him. The way he just been on it, like I said, hold on, I'm jumping the gun. We gonna get to new music. We gonna get to that. I feel like I want to definitely acknowledge Ti and Tiny Harris though. Absolutely, yeah. Let's do that. Let's acknowledge the fact that Ti and Tiny are currently in the process of opening affordable housing for the residents. I would assume this is taking place in Atlanta or in the state of Georgia. Um, so I definitely wanted to just take this time to, go ahead and salute Ti, who also is gearing up to drop his final album. Um, I believe it's called "Kill the King." I've been seeing different posts about it. I haven't heard any snippets or anything like this. I do want to pull this up though. Ti affordable housing because I feel like that's super dope. Obviously, for obvious reasons. Once again, like I said, you know, 50th year hip hop, man. I feel like we just seeing a lot of hip hop artists doing a lot of monumental shit.
I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. Don't tell nobody. I got caught stealing that this King one right here. Okay, and I thought that just to offset the shame that came with that, it would behoove me, to invest in the community by acquiring this piece of property. It's the least I can do. You know what I'm saying? The Rubber Band Man is talking about his investment in this brand new
The
building
Rubber
on
Band
Young
Man. I've heard
Hollow
enough.
Parkway.
I've heard enough.
He's not dealing.
Once again, we're gonna air horn and salute Ti. For that amazing, monumental, stat. You know, that's bigger than you see. And that's the thing, man. Obviously, we got the Grammys around the corner. It's kind of that time of the year. It's kind of Grammy season. They announce all of the nominations and everybody kind of gets prepped up and geared up for that, man. But at the end of the day, man, opening up affordable housing in a community that you came up in, to me, I just feel like that should be the equivalent, or we should be viewing uh moves like this as the equivalent of 50 Grammys, right? There is no equivalent. That's bigger than an award show. That's bigger than you know, a chart. That's bigger than, analytics. That's bigger than, it's deeper than rap. There was a lot of uncertainty around T.I. not too long ago, and then he kind of went off and was doing his comedy thing. Then obviously he got booed in my city. unfortunately, Barclays Center, right? We can't. We should be happy. We got a goddamn stadium, fam. We got Ti coming out, hip hop legend from the South. You know what I'm saying? Embrace the artists that we know put in the work. At the end of the day, fam, they booed him, showed him no love. They didn't care about "Live Your Life" and none of his hit songs at that moment. Nigga, you a comedian right now, fam. They really booed him though, which is crazy. But I just feel like, yeah, this is the light we want to see our legends in, man. So salute to Ti once again for that amazing feat, opening up affordable housing. Yeah, once again, it's me, Real Matic TV, episode 48. Y'all want to know how I'm feeling right now? I'm feeling like Ali, man, in his prime. I'm not even gonna hold you. I feel like the rope a dope is crazy. They trying to slay me, but I still remain the same OG. Y'all know who I be. I walk through this shit so casually. Yeah. Peace, love, and prosperity to everybody all over the world. If I haven't said this already, earlier in the episode, I basically alluded to the fact that there were some negotiations basically taking place. And that's pretty much the latest I have on the, obviously the war that's currently taking place between Hamas and, uh, Israel, Palestine, Middle East, once again, like I said, I don't even like to put a name on this, right? It's bigger than words. It's bigger than words. It's bigger than words. You know what I'm saying? When we talking about groups of people going to hospitals to hold people captive that have already been, blown up by bombs and all type of, I can't even imagine what those people are thinking and basically going through. You know what I'm saying? You already basically experienced this unfortunate, tragedy, right? You didn't even have no say in the matter. You didn't even really have any control of the situation. You go to the one place that you know they can help you, only to find out that they have tunnels built underneath these hospitals and a big. I don't like this shit. Sounds like this is beyond scary movie. This is like, I mean, I don't know, man. You could get Spike Lee, Quentin Tarantino couldn't write one up like this. This is absolutely bananas, right? And like I said, once again, it's beyond words. We only have to acknowledge it because as a human being, right, who has a conscience and a pulse, right, who can see something and say, damn, that doesn't look like I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't even, it's kind of like, you wouldn't wish anything like that on your worst enemy, and obviously, like I said, it really truly does put your own kind of situation in perspective as far as, whatever the fuck it is that you feel like you're going through. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. I could sit here and tell y'all 1,000 reasons why I should be ready to quit, basically. I could sit here and tell y'all literally 1,000 reasons why, I should be angry. I could sit here and give you a million excuses, but at the end of the day, fam, did you wake up today? Huh? Did you wake up today? Do you still have the opportunity to make a better tomorrow? And that's ultimately kind of just what my approach is going to be going forward. I kind of been on that, but at the end of the day, it's just something that, yeah, man, it's just validation at the end of the day, man. Certain situations, the peaks and valleys, yeah, puffing on that Cali as we take this trip down the peaks and valleys of this thing we call life. This shit is a mess. You gotta play chess. They want you down. You gotta be at your best. Where we go from there, man? I ain't gonna hold you. Hold on, man. Like I said, FanDuel reparations. So let me talk to y'all about this FanDuel situation, right? So listen, like I said, I'm not gonna hold you right now. Like this is like, I low key don't even really want to even speak on this situation, just for the simple fact that, like, I do feel like, alright, so this is what I'm getting to. I feel like FanDuel is amazing. I do. I feel like it's amazing. But And I'm saying this because as I'm currently sitting with a lot of fucking money, right? I just want to say, like, to anybody, I low key really need to, like, where's that ad about the people who are addicted to gambling? I completely understand at this point, is what I'm saying, right? Like, the whole gambling thing, like, now let's not get it fucked up, right? You can't be stupid, right? And you kind of got to know what you're doing. But all I'm saying is this: I feel like FanDuel might be reparations for black people, low key, and they just kind of hid it under this, you know what I'm saying, the veil of gambling app. You do gotta spend money to make money, so technically that wouldn't be reparations. But what I'm saying is this, fam. I just feel like, you know, it came in and went so goddamn fast. Is basically what I'm saying, man. I don't even know how to like. I hit some shit on FanDuel, man, twice, and then I lost some shit. Then I hit some shit again, and then it's just like, it's just wins and losses right now, man. But at the same time, I do want to say shout out to FanDuel. I might need a FanDuel sponsor for the podcast, is what I'm saying, fam. I done gave y'all about a couple. We not gonna get into any numbers right now, but y'all know what I gave y'all, and I know what y'all gave me, and I know what I'm trying to get tonight. You feel me? Come on, man. I don't even watch football, fam. I got so much goddamn. I need a Travis Kelsey good game. I need a couple of good games tonight from you football guys that I don't watch. Am I the only one that does that, by the way? Anybody that does the FanDuel, like the betting thing, like I personally, I just feel like I'm gonna put my bet down and I'm gonna go play 2K. Is what I'm saying. Like I can't watch the actual game. Like when there's money on the line, fam, it's similar to like when if anybody's ever like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a park baby. Like I've been in every park in New York City, right? So at some point, I feel like we've all kind of been challenged to a game for a couple of dollars or whatever the case may be, right? And you just know that that's a different, just your step back is just a little different in that game, right? Your handle is, you're not even really dribbling like that. You posting up, you doing moves that you ain't even really think you had in your arsenal for real. I'm just saying, when the money's on the line, it's just a different, you know, so for me, it's like when I put the bets down on certain, only if I happen to look and see, I need like, I just need a couple more assists from you, maybe like 2 more points from you, and I feel like I got a good chance of getting it. I'll sit there and turn the game on. But other than that, fam, I can't watch the games when I'm betting money. It's too much. It's too much on the line, fam. It's too much on the line, and like I said, fam, the wins and the losses is crazy. Shout out to FanDuel though. The Clippers definitely ain't getting better with James Harden, but that's a whole nother story. You know, I feel like I feel like I feel like I feel like we get into the NBA news at this point, right? Because at the end of the day, we were just speaking about FanDuel. I'm not gonna hold you. I was waiting for the instrumental. Like, I'm not sure what type of transition that was right there. That was nasty, fam. Who is this right here? Gun Clappers OGC. I'm not gonna hold you. Shout out to this playlist is amazing. Like, I've never heard any one of these instrumentals, by the way. I basically look for the playlists that like have the instrumentals on it that I wouldn't be too familiar with. Cause like if you put the ones on that, like I'm gonna end up in my head, I'm just kind of hearing the song and shit. So then I'll just get distracted from what I'm doing. Realistically, the instrumentals, the whole thing with the instrumentals, right? And y'all gotta understand, like I said, I'm a radio baby. So I came up during the time where the radio was basically the podcast, right? The radio was our podcast. You know, you had Angie Martinez, Miss Info, Lisa Evers, Funk Flex, you know what I'm saying, Ed Lover, Dre, all of these, great classic radio interviews, we've heard about and seen about just about every one of those. And I'm not gonna hold you, like I said, those are the interviews that I basically came up on, right? And if you go back and you listen to any of those, you know what I'm saying, those interviews, right? they always have instrumentals in the background playing. And I'm just saying that's kind of where that came from, basically, right? Just all of those hours of me sitting in front of the radio for real and just listening to these interviews over and over. Even today, I'll still go back from time to time and like I'll go look at one of the older the Nas interview on Flex. There's so many, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. So that's kind of like where that comes from, right? November 20th, 2023. Hopefully all is well with everybody. Hopefully all is well with everybody, and hopefully all is well with Keke Palmer, who, I kind of seen some news and I kind of been hearing some things. I've been watching different little, um, I just been seeing these headlines basically, on the internet, in regards to Keke Palmer filing, a restraining order against, her now ex, her estranged, let me say it how they'll say it on the news and shit. Estranged ex-boyfriend Darius Jackson. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. And realistically, fam, obviously, I'm saying this instrumental is way too upbeat right now. I'm not gonna hold you. Hold on, pardon yourself. And that was another reason why I had to stop. You know what I mean? The instrumentals kind of drag the episodes out a little bit. And I got to figure out pacing and what fits with the topics. I feel like this is more okay. That's more up the alley I'm trying to go right now. I'm not sure if Darius Jackson wants to be walking up any alleys right now, though. Darius Jackson is being alleged of a lot of different things. Obviously, this is a domestic situation. Personally, I don't like to really divulge or disseminate or misspeak or, you know what I'm saying, just even really speak about any of these type of situations. Although I do feel like there is a teachable moment in every situation, and that's ultimately what the E.B.C.G podcast is about, right? Not just only talking about what's going on, but basically trying to find, the lesson, you know, or the blessing in the situation at the end of the day, right? And we kind of use these situations to kind of help ourselves navigate through our own situations, right? So I feel like as far as the whole domestic thing, that was never really something that personally I've ever really dealt with. As far as I've definitely had, different altercations with females over the years for sure, right? But never to the point of domestic abuse is what I'm saying, right? There's never been a fist fight or I ain't never really had to. I mean, maybe when I was much younger, for sure. I've definitely had physical altercations with females. Never to the extent of me personally putting my hands on a female, but the other way around for sure. Females have definitely, you know what I'm saying? They gonna listen, man. At the end of the day, fam, I'm a magnet, right? I draw energy from people, right? Sometimes that means, that could be for the good, that could be for the bad. My point is this. This is not something that I condone as far as, what's being alleged. Now, what's being alleged and what actually took place obviously can be two different things. And that's another reason why I kind of want to like back off of this. But from what I'm hearing though, it's not looking good for your man though. It's not looking good. I'm not really even sure who man's this is right now. But it's not looking good for Darius Jackson right now. And that's all I'll say. I haven't really personally looked at anything. Once again, I've only seen the headlines and I just felt like, all right, let me go ahead and just acknowledge this because obviously, there was a whole thing with, not too long ago, um, with Keke Palmer and obviously Usher, she was at Usher's show and we don't really need to rehash this. We seen the goddamn video. This shit went viral. Everybody made a bunch of jokes about it. God damn it. And let's just call this let's just call a spade here. The internet is responsible for this shit, fam. And that's the reality of the situation. Sometimes the internet plays a little bit too much, right? And sometimes y'all don't really take into consideration people's mental state and mental health. And, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's not built to go against the internet, fam. And that's just the reality of the situation. I don't know who Darius Jackson is. Obviously, we know who Kiki Palmer is. I mean, because we've seen her in different films over the years, or whatever the case may be. She's a more popular figure. But in all reality, we don't know who Kiki Palmer is behind closed doors, other than outside of the people who actually do. I'm speaking about the casual fan. You know, if you listening to the E.B.C.G podcast, you don't know Kiki Palmer, fan. That I could pretty much conjure that up, right? My demo is not. There's two different demos there, right? So if anybody in the sound of my voice, we don't know Kiki Palmer personally, fan. What people present on camera, and and at the end of the day, let me slow down, right? Because this is a domestic dispute, and we want to highlight that, right? Domestic dispute, wrong, bad, shouldn't have never happened, right? And that's kind of the biggest takeaway from this. But what I'm saying is this, fam. I don't know what their relationship was and like what actually is going on here. So we gonna sit back. I'm listen, man. I'm not gonna hold you, man. Getting into you get in trouble with the law, you gonna learn some shit, fam. It's just you see other people's situations completely differently. Like I said, man, me just knowing personally how easily just something that can be said and then that can basically manifest into you know um something that could really be physically done, right? In other words, somebody saying something led to something physically taking place, right? And now we talking about you know you done lost money, you done lost, what I'm saying? Different things can transpire when you're dealing with a legal situation. So I don't really want to speak on anybody else's situation. I'm not even clear on my situation right now, is what I'm saying. So let me get some clarity on my situation. I'm looking at my phone every damn 5 seconds, man. Because realistically, I got to make some calls and shit. Like I said, let me give y'all this episode 48, E.B.C.G podcast. Prayers up for Kiki Palmer, obviously, and her child. I'm not sure if it's a son or a daughter. Like I said, I'm not that invested. I believe, I feel like she has a son though. I feel like if she had a daughter, we would be seeing them like on TikTok more and shit like that. Whatever the case may be, hopefully everything works itself out for the best there. Um, Draymond Green went viral again. Okay, so other than the fact that we gotta change the instrumental for this, hold on. I'm not gonna hold you, man. Other than the fact that I've been just basically like the NBA, I don't know, man. I got a whole different outlook. I'm not gonna hold you, fam. Damian Lillard, I needed a half a point from Damian Lillard the other night, fam. Damian Lillard, I was a half a point away. I don't even want to even tell y'all what I had on the line for that, fam. What's up with that half a point shit, fam? Anyway, whatever the case may be, what's going on? NBA news, fam. Draymond Green puts Rudy Gobert in the $1 million dream and drags him across the court, fam. I feel like we're watching, I mean, at this point, Draymond Green, Rudy Gobert, what happened here, man? Klay Thompson, he got his jersey ripped. You know what I'm saying? You had Klay out there walking around, pacing around the court with half his jersey hanging off of him. Draymond Green, you know what I'm saying? He put Rudy Gobert in a legit, that was a legit $1 million dream. Matter of fact, that was really an MMA move, is what he did. He put him in a rear naked choke and literally dragged him. He could have choked him out. I'm surprised Rudy Gobert didn't pass out, fam. So basically, what took place here is basically what I don't know. I just feel like I don't know, man. How do I want to approach this realistically? Because I haven't really put much thought into this, other than the fact that I feel like Draymond Green, at this point, we gotta get Draymond Green in the MMA ring. We gotta get him in the octagon. Either the octagon or in the boxing ring, bro. We gonna have to at some point. I need to see Draymond Green in a physical fight. I need to see Draymond Green in a 5-round championship fight, fam. At this point, fam, you want to fight so goddamn bad. It's just like, bruh, does Draymond Green really have hands at this point? I mean, we seen what he did to Jordan Poole, right? But I mean, realistically, fam, he wasn't really in his stance. Like you, I want to see what that looked like when somebody else is throwing punches back. Is what I'm saying. Now, obviously, this situation kind of, I do feel like this is the thing. Realistically, I do feel like this situation is kind of getting blown out of proportion, right? And I do feel like at this point, where we at right now, November 20th, what he got? He got a 5 game suspension, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. So he got suspended 5 games for, putting Rudy Gobert in a rear naked choke and nearly choking him, within inches of his breath, his final breath. God damn it. I'm not gonna hold you. He applied it. Like he really locked it in. I was looking like if I'm just saying, one wrong move to the left and Rudy Gobert could have ended his season real quick, fam. Let alone his career, fam. He could have broke his goddamn neck, is what I'm saying, fam. He had his under his chin. That's the same chokehold Khabib uses. Like he really put a legit. I do feel like this is the thing, right? So Klay Thompson, the initial situation actually took place, and it wasn't even Draymond had nothing to do with it, right? Draymond he was on the fucking baseline somewhere trying to get the box out. Klay Thompson and another player, I don't, what was the name of the other guy? McDaniels was his last name. I don't know his first name, but at this point, that's not important, fam. You know what I'm saying? He's not even in any of the memes that's going around right now. And that's so crazy that the two initial people who got into the physical altercation became an afterthought once Draymond Green got involved, right? So these two players, Klay Thompson and McDaniels, obviously, there was a play. They came down. They kind of got a little frisky with each other. I feel like Klay Thompson was a little bit more frisky in the initial exchange. Personally, like he kind of looked like he low key threw a right. He swung on boy is what he did. So boy kind of let him know like, nah, fam, I'm not really. You're not even really the same Klay no more. Like the respect level is just not the same right now, fam. So yeah, he swung back. You never used to see anybody throw a punch or push Klay Thompson or Steph Curry. Those are like the legit two. You understand what I'm saying? Golden boys, damn near. What was that just now? Oh, alright, cool. Pardon self. My point is this, fam. My point is this. It should have really just ended there between Klay Thompson and McDaniels, but no, no, no. Rudy Gobert decided that he was in it. At the end of the day, I mean, we've seen this 1,000 times. Any scuffle in the league on the court, usually, the bigger guys, the centers are usually the guys that they come in and they get in between the guys because obviously y'all 7 feet tall, 230. We expect for y'all to not be afraid to get into the middle of a scuffle, right? So realistically, you kind of forced to kind of be the enforcer, right? So Rudy Gobert was only just trying to do what he's getting paid to do, ultimately, right? They pay him to be the enforcer for the team, man. So he kind of stepped in, and, you know what I mean? He tried to kind of push Klay off. I'm not really sure what he did or what Draymond thought he saw, but realistically, fam, he didn't really do anything. He kind of just put his hand. I feel like he might have put his hand on Klay's shoulder gently or something, basically like chill. Draymond seen something else, fam, and Draymond lunged across the goddamn court. Like, listen, man. Like I said, we might need to see Draymond Green. Is Derek Lewis like when was Derek Lewis? Nah, he got beat up pretty bad in his last fight. He might not want to see Draymond right now. We'll have to find an opponent for him. But my point is this: I feel like Draymond Green. I feel like we need to see him in some type. But they got all these celebrity. Like we seen Jake Paul fight like 5 times this year. I'm just saying, fam, can we mix this thing up now? I propose. This is what I propose. Y'all want to know what I propose? Jake Paul versus Draymond Green at the next YouTube fight. God damn it. Yeah, let's get to it. God damn it. Y'all want to spice this thing up? And realistically, boy, running out of opponents anyway. He already got that many opponents over there left. They talking about he need to fight his brother now. They want Logan Paul and Jake Paul. So at this point, clearly y'all running out of opponents. I propose we throw Draymond Green in there with one of the Paul brothers, and let's just see. Like I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a lot of whoever making money off of memes. There's gonna be a lot of money to be made off of a Jake Paul versus Draymond Green fight. And that's all I'm saying. That's really all I have on that. Off the top of the dome. Facts. Yeah, I didn't really have nothing on that. I just felt like that was basically what was supposed to happen. And realistically, this is one of those times where you basically kind of understood where Draymond was coming from and kind of his perspective. Did he overreact a tad bit? Yeah, but that's kind of what Draymond does, right? At this point, we kind of know that to be his character, right? He kind of overreacts, right? So it is what it is, man. I feel like the league kind of felt the same way. Hence, a light 5 game suspension. I seen people, they was mad on TV in the morning. They was spilling their coffee. Draymond only got 5 games. That's not, he shouldn't get 5 games. That's crazy. That's an atrocity. Damn, atrocity. You ain't really had this energy when it's a lot of atrocities going on right now, fam. Why is this the shit that got you? I legit seen people mad talking about like he should have got more time. Like, fam, this is not the goddamn John Morant. Like, he didn't have a gun on the court, fam. Everybody relax. And realistically, fam, Rudy Gobert is 6'10". The fact that he even allowed him to get his neck like that, that's a whole nother conversation. 7 feet tall, bro. Why is your neck even in reach? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I feel like that was just basically what was supposed to happen. You got into the middle of a scuffle, and you became a part of the scuffle, fam. We've seen this shit happen. I mean, anybody that's been in any part of any ghetto for more than 10 minutes, fam, I'm pretty sure we've all kind of seen how these things transpired, right? I've been escorted out of the arena. You know what I'm saying? When some shit was about to go down, like, fam, at least kind of know where, you know what I'm saying? Where it's safe at and where it's not for you, my boy. I have nothing else on that, by the way. I don't. I'm done. That was my final thought on Draymond Green putting Rudy Gobert in $1 million dream and dragging him up the court. That nigga did a suicide with that nigga. That nigga took him to the free throw line, brought him to the baseline. He did a different kind of suicide with him. That's some warrior shit that they probably do in practice. Side to side, up and down, free throw line. All right, let's go baseline. Nigga took that nigga by the. I feel like I'm the only person that didn't react to this Jeezy Nia Long interview as of yet, and simply because honestly, that was only because I didn't watch it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm just keeping it all the way 1,000, I seen everybody talking about it, and obviously I seen some of the clips or whatever. But I said to myself, I'm gonna really do my journalistic duties on this. I need to really sit down and kind of like get into that mode and really like lock in and watch and listen to this interview. And I'm not gonna hold you. I don't feel like I have. I mean, I feel like this is one of the greatest interviews I've ever seen. Is what I feel. I mean, it was really truly a masterclass. I feel like Jeezy. It's one of those things where like you didn't really see it coming, but once you seen it on camera, it made perfect sense. And goddamn it, Jeezy and Nia Long sitting down for this interview made perfect sense. The conversation, obviously the situation that they're both kind of currently in, or the situations that they're currently leaving. Obviously Jeezy recently just divorced Jeannie Mae, and obviously we don't really know what the ins and outs of anybody's divorce is, and we don't really want to make light of anybody's divorce or anybody's marriage not working out. We know that this is a serious thing, but at the same time, man, god damn, Jeannie Mae and Jeezy, this has to be one of the most. I mean, you want to talk about Drake dropped a surprise album recently. I don't feel like there was no bigger surprise for me than when I woke up and I seen the headline that Jeannie Mae and Jeezy were even dating. That was like, whoa, that was kind of like out of nowhere, right? I say all that to say this. Obviously, they're at they divorced, and Nia Long obviously has her own situation that she's coming out of with um her longtime husband, Ime Adoka, who I didn't even realize they were actually married for like quite some time, right? Before we even knew before I knew who he was on the Celtics as a coach, before he was even a coach, I feel like. So this wasn't one of those days where like, you know, he became the best coach and he was coaching the Celtics and then she kind of came into the picture. No, she was already in the picture, is what I'm saying. So obviously, he got into his situation in Boston, and we low key still don't really know exactly what took place. But that's a whole nother story, right? Obviously, she knows enough, and she's seen and heard enough to ultimately make her decision to divorce. And so I say all that to say this: you kind of have two individuals going through similar things. They sit down, they have an interview. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, man. I won't be surprised if I mean, at this point, I feel like the internet, once again, all the internet is going to do is just ruin everything. Y'all ruined Kiki Palmer life. Now y'all about to they low key making it so that, how like, it's kind of like anybody that ever liked a popular girl in school. Like the popular girl in school that low key like you on the low, she not going to ever come out and say it because she's the popular girl, right? She kind of used to kind of being in that limelight. You might catch her in the staircase though, and she might give you another energy. Is what I'm saying, right? So I feel like Jeezy and Nia Long, they kind of was in the staircase with it. I mean, but once you do that interview and then the internet gets a hold of it, man, they start doing memes and shit. Now they gonna make it to where Nia Long is gonna be uncomfortable with the situation. I've been in this situation a million times, by the way, right? She's definitely about to be low key uncomfortable. So now anything Jeezy do going forward, as far as like if he's sliding in the DMs, right? He probably got her number though, realistically, man. I would assume at this point. It's just gonna always like feel like, damn, oh, you trying to basically fulfill the quest. It becomes like it's like a quest that the internet sets you on now, like to basically, conquer Nia Long, fam. Respectfully, respectfully. But we see the memes, we see all the posts, we see the captions, fam. They are relentless. They saying all type of shit, fam. And obviously, Jeannie Mae, you know, we're gonna change this instrumental. Where we at though? Hold on, let me get my mic check, mic check. Everybody can't go. Everybody you already know. Lil Medic TV. I'm coming do my show. Yeah, 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 yeah. So we back with it. Like, I just feel like, man, listen, man. Salute to Jeezy. Salute to Nia Long. She looked absolutely amazing in the interview. You know what I'm saying? Jeezy looks like he's well. Um, looking healthy. You know what I'm saying? The skin is looking. You know what I'm saying? So salute. That would be a It's not something that we ever really thought of or seen coming. But I mean, Jeezy and Nia Long don't really look, you know what I'm saying? And then they, of course, obviously, then look, they went and pulled up some Jeezy lyrics. I wasn't even aware of this. That he basically had a lyric or some lyrics basically, alluding to, you know what I'm saying? Basically, like, yo, if I run into Nia Long, I'm gonna make her my some shit, like some crazy line he had about like if I run into Nia Long, basically I'm gonna try to pursue her. You know what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form. So at the end of the day, man, I guess dreams do come true. God damn it, he spoke that shit into existence. Is what he did. That's a whole fact. Yeah, I'm feeling like hour and 15 minutes in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the finale of season 2. I appreciate you all for the journey that you've all been on with me. I don't really know who y'all are. I'm just saying y'all because at the end of the day, this is an audio adventure. This is not, I truly just feel like, you know, I don't know, man. Shout out to every podcast out here, though. For sure. I've been definitely, you know what I'm saying? There's definitely other podcasts. I'm a fan of this shit and overall, right? So understand that if I'm not listening to my own, because I definitely listen to my own shit. That's 100%. That's a whole fact. Like I said, I went back and right now I'm on episode. I believe I'm on episode 24. Reading, writing, arithmetic, talk. Yeah, that's one of my favorite episode titles. Ironically, I don't even have the title for this episode right now. But that usually comes to me during the editing sessions, right? A little transparency. Like I said, I feel like I could be transparent with y'all, you know what I'm saying? This is definitely the end of season 2. Season 3, I don't have an official start date for my season 3 yet. I don't really have no official. But what I will say is this. I definitely need to sit down for a little bit right now. You know what I'm saying? So understand that I don't necessarily want to say that. I mean, we already December. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We already kind of end of the year. You know, low key season 3. We might. This might be the end of the year. This might be my last episode for 2023. I'm not making any guarantees. Is what I'm saying, right? Just know that season 3, I definitely plan on coming back. Like I said, man, it's all about you know taking everything that you learned from the previous path or the previous journey and bringing that to the next. You know what I'm saying? Season 3, I've learned so much, and I'm learning every day about just basically how to place you know, just branding, man. You know, your logo, your brand, your images, your everything, your logo. Definitely my logo. See something even like that. Like right now, I'm working with. Like I kind of like what I got right now, low key, right? But what I'm saying is this: there's still a lot that I can do to basically, embellish and enhance the E.B.C.G podcast. So, like I said, man, I'm just glad that I was able to do 48 episodes. So, 2 seasons in the books. Like I said, I definitely got some lost files that I gotta go try to like recover as well. I'm just thankful though. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I have the opportunity, man. And that's all that we can really ask for at the end of the day. Because obviously we do know that everybody doesn't have the opportunity, man. Some people don't really have, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, there's people out here in all types of different situations, man. So we definitely want to just, give thanks. Obviously, Thanksgiving, is the holiday that they put on the calendar, but in all reality, we should be giving thanks every single day that we are able to wake up and, basically just you know, enjoy life, for the good and for the bad. Obviously everybody's situation is different. Like I said once again, but it's all about your outlook and just always looking for the positive and the negative ultimately. And the sooner you could kind of train your mind to kind of start viewing things from that perspective, I feel like the better, ultimately, you leave yourself with a lot more room for peace of mind ultimately when you start to kind of understand that every challenge and every obstacle that comes your way is kind of there to kind of get you prepared for the blessing that's getting ready to come your way. And that sounds like some shit that's straight out of like, you know, it sounds so cliche, but it's truly, truly, basically just how I'm viewing things these days, man. So I don't care if, what I'm saying, if you down to your last $111, fam, you know, at the end of the day, man, it's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You're still gonna have the opportunity and the ability to bounce back. Push through. E.B.C.G podcast, episode 48. Yeah, feeling good, feeling great. J. Cole and Drake. Before we get to new music, I want to definitely highlight and salute Nas, who obviously, I mean, I don't think as far as like the hip hop, the elder statesmen of hip hop, um, I don't think anybody had a better year than Nas this year. As far as just being a representation, obviously this is the 50th year of hip hop, and yeah, obviously we wanted to celebrate all of the pioneers, and we did a pretty good job. There was so many different events. I feel like, yeah, could they have been more? Sure. Could there have been more representation? Yeah, there's always going to be somebody that feels slighted. When we celebrating 50 years of a genre, it's kind of hard to really tell that whole story without missing some of the key pieces there, right? So that we had that going on. Then we had the whole, oh, artists, we not getting hip hop artists that we really, the meaningful artists to the culture, basically, right? Just for a lack of a better way to say it, right? The artists that we actually care about and shit, right? We not even getting them to drop. I ain't see Kendrick at. Well, I don't even think Kendrick said hip hop this year, fam. Like realistically, fam. And I hate to keep using Kendrick as the, but I feel like, I mean, if you're gonna carry at this point, it's almost as if it's almost like, I don't know, man. You kind of you prided yourself for so long, and I hate that I'm transitioning so strong right now. Realistically, let me slow down. See, let me pull myself back before I throw myself off a track here. We getting ready to get into the music conversation. I want to salute Nas. Let's focus Nas right now, because Nas has announced, um, Nas along with obviously his partners, I believe Horowitz and Felicia Horowitz, who I'm not familiar with, but Horowitz sounds very, very wealthy. Sounds like dentist, sounds like something along those lines, right? I'm pretty sure I've had a dentist with that exact. Steve Stout is also involved in this deal. What is taking place is that there was an announcement of the launch of what they're calling paid in full, which I feel like salute once again. Smart marketing. I think that's a super dope campaign right there. So basically, what they're saying is paid in full is going to be a foundation that will focus on giving back to the hip hop pioneers, the OGs, the legends, the forefathers, you know, the people who basically don't feel like there's a platform for them today. I can't imagine what it would feel like being a part of something, right? That's like you stand you with your bare hands, fam. You build up a whole goddamn facility or some shit, and you not even like welcome in, basically, right? I can't imagine being a part of the building process or something, and then not being allowed to see the final product, right? And just kind of be able to kind of enjoy that. So I feel like, yeah, this is super super dope, and it's obviously important, not only because it's the 50th year of hip hop, and obviously everybody's looking to make, everybody want to throw their hip hop hat on and their hip hop hoodie, their medallion on this year. Nah, this is something that we needed to have done many, many years ago. So to actually see it actually being announced, and obviously, obviously they're gonna need some time to kind of really get this thing rolled out. But I have been seeing certain, clips of Nas. I see Nas and Rakim sitting side by side the other day. It's just dope to see Nas and Rakim sitting side by side, what I'm saying? We talking about two of the most, important, influential figures in hip hop, right? So yeah, hip hop is definitely getting its props. Once again, salute to Nas, obviously Steve Stout, Ben Horowitz, Felicia Horowitz, everybody involved, Mass Appeal. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Come on, Queens get the money, man. Queens, you know what I'm saying? I know my Queens. This is where I put my Queens card out. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I was there. Shea Stadium, only a few got to go and really climb up on that. They had the globe, the whole fucking. I used to love going over there. Now that was Flushing Meadow Parks though. I'm mixing up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Flushing Meadows is where I used to climb on that globe shit. Shea Stadium just used to have like the fireworks show every time the Mets would win. I don't even think it was the World Series, fam. They would just win a game and they would have the fireworks going up and shit. That shit used to just look crazy because I used to be able to see it off of the balcony. Shout out to Left Rack, shout out to Queen, shout out to Nas. I'm completely drained right now. If I can't tell, where we at? An hour and 20 minutes in is crazy. Hold on, let me spark something though. I ain't know my Snoop Dogg yet. I'm not there yet, fam. Hold on, fam. You got albums to fall back on, fam. I can't even get food stamps right now. You imagine? They trying to block my entry in every turn, bro. But all that means is that I ain't made the right turn yet. So look, I'm not gonna hold you, man. I feel like hold on, let me just see something here. What we got? Oh, I also should definitely mention, in addition, in addition to the launch of the paid in full campaign, Nas and his team also put out that they will be launching the first annual Grandmaster Awards, which geared towards celebrating the hip hop pioneers who haven't received the proper recognition from the culture. I feel like this is absolutely 100% necessary for hip hop. Once again, salute to Nas, and I'm looking forward to that specifically. This is something that, on a small scale, it's kind of really showing, and not even I shouldn't even say on a small scale. Hold on, because I was getting ready to make a comparison, which I shouldn't do, right? This is a big major move, right? Because at the end of the day, like I said, obviously we got the Grammys around the corner right now. For this to come out right now to me is basically sending a clear message to the Grammys and to any other award show that at the end of the day, fam, we got us at the end of the day, fam. Y'all might not acknowledge certain shit. Y'all don't get it, fam. At the end of the day, they don't get it. They don't get it. They're never gonna get it. It's geared towards popularity and numbers. It's not geared towards culture and impact, right? These award shows. So that's how you get a situation where you have album of the year, hip hop album of the year, and then they'll throw in Megan Thee Stallion. Like it's a whole. They got all these goddamn sub categories now because they want to try to get everybody basically, get everybody an award. That way you keep everybody happy. You keep relationships intact. Yeah, it's just like a whole. This right here is an award show that I feel like we'll be able to actually look forward to basically tuning in. If they're gonna be doing what I feel like they're gonna be doing, if this is gonna be a Nas production and this is gonna be geared towards celebrating hip hop, then you absolutely right. The first annual Grandmaster Awards, fan, sign me up. Cause I will definitely, if I can't be in the building, if they do this shit in Queens or something, I'm definitely gonna be in the building. If they do this at the Barclays or I will be in the building. But if anything else, then I will be, I'll be there in spirit and I'll definitely be watching. They'll get a view from me. I'll stream this up. You know what I'm saying? Nah, salute though. Salute. In all seriousness though. I feel like this is great. I need to read more, obviously. This is just a kind of an announcement. I do want to see. I'm curious to see how they're gonna like basically roll this out and who's gonna be a part of this. Lil Wayne was at a Fuji show recently where they basically performed Ready or Not, and he kind of came out and spit up like a little verse. They said a freestyle, but realistically, fam, that was clearly not a freestyle, right? If that's a freestyle, fam, then we talking about this is like we've never seen greatness. He clearly that was a written, but point being, it was a verse from Wayne, and it was over the Fuji's Ready or Not instrumental, fam. I never even thought of that in my mind, bro. Like Wayne on specifically that instrumental, and fam, he absolutely abolished the instrumental is what I'm saying, fam. And at this point, we have to have the conversation of just like, is Wayne like the official? Wayne has to be hip hop's official boogeyman at this point. At this point, Little Wayne is hip hop's official boogeyman, fam. Like there is no other artist that has the ability to take another individual's instrumental and make it their own, basically. Obviously, we've seen him do this with several mixtapes, the Drought series, and No Ceilings. We've seen him do this with so many other artists' instrumentals, but just to see him on stage with Wyclef and Lauren Hill standing in the background, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like just looking down at, I just felt like it was just a great moment for hip hop. And not to mention the verse that he spit was crazy. Like it was a great verse over a classic Fuji's beat. Wyclef definitely was getting a little frustrated because Lauren Hill wasn't really doing the chorus. She was up there hugging. And I mean, to see Wayne and Lauren embrace, like I just felt like that was a dope moment. So I just wanted to salute Wayne, the Fugees. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they want Lauren Hill to be on time and all that. But I'm just saying, man, when we gonna get a moment like that, you might want to wait an extra 30 minutes, bro, and cut and pipe down, fam. Like I said, I was there. Not for that though, but for the Yankee Stadium shit. You know what I'm saying? And she came out there and she shut that whole shit down, fam. You forgot about Trina and Little Kim and every other, like seriously, like I low key forgot I seen Ashanti up there, damn near nude and shit, fam. When Lauren Hill comes out, bro, everything that happened before this is obsolete now, fam. I forgot about Trina. Understand what I'm saying here, fam? Lola Brooke, all of them. It was an amazing night for hip hop. Lauren Hill came out. It was just an amazing moment. Salute to Wayne once again. The Fugees, Drake. So initially, Drake announced Scary Hours. When I wrote this down, which was what, on Thursday or something crazy. I believe on Thursday he kind of announced this just like out of nowhere, basically. So now what ends up happening is now we actually have enough time now, right? Because I made the wise decision to know when to hold them and when to fold them, right? And I ain't jumped the gun and I ain't jump out there. I'd have been out here talking about, oh, album on the way still. Then I'd have to come back and do the quick back to back. We not doing that, fam. I need my episodes to breathe. So Drake put out Scary Hours 3, surprise album, no announcements, no regard, get out my way. Here I come. I just dropped for all the dogs and I'm still not done, fam. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He came and dropped Scary Hours 3. Obviously, this is coming off of, obviously, like I just said, Part Itself for all the dogs. Just released the album. And then after he put out for all the dogs, he followed up with saying basically, I'm done. I'm done with this. You know what I'm saying? I need to take a break. I'm gonna go sit down. You know what I'm saying? Look over, some finances and basically just give y'all some time to really just digest all of this shit that I gave y'all, fam, because it's been a lot, right? So Drake legitimately said that he was basically getting ready to essentially retire. So for him to come right back and, basically drop this project, when For All the Dogs dropped, I said that he was force feeding his fans. I might have even said he might have been poisoning them. But that this time around, I feel like he kind of came back and gave them essentially what they wanted and what they was asking for. He kind of did the Eminem low key. Eminem did this when he dropped, what was that, Recovery? And nobody was really feeling it. They was people was scratching their heads looking at Eminem like he was crazy. Like, fam, why are you dropping this? Like, what is the significance? Nobody wanted it, basically. Then he came back around with that Kamikaze and woke the game up again. And they was like, whoa. He had to remind people, like, nah, I'm still that guy, basically, right? When it comes to the bars and the entendres, we know what Eminem do, right? Drake is doing a whole nother thing, and at the end of the day, this is basically, he gave a, 6 songs, little 6 song project, he definitely had a couple of features on here. Hold on, let me pull this up though, because it's not even on streaming. Well, it wasn't on streaming when I originally looked. I'm not sure if it's on there now. It might be, but y'all know I'm gonna do what I do and make it do what it do, right? So I already got the whole shit on my Apple right now, so I can go ahead and just hold on. Let me see. The shoe fits. I feel like the shoe fits. All right, let's get to it. It's only 6 songs. The shoe fits. I get that like a 5 out of 10. I like it starts off kind of cool. I feel like it drags out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's a little redundant towards the end there. Stories about my brother. I'm a little confused. I'm not really sure who his brother, like who he's talking about exactly. But I feel like we got a lot of red button, it's a lot of talk on here, man. A lot of a lot of things to take away from this. Evil Ways featuring J. Cole. I'm not gonna hold you. The J. Cole feature on this, I ain't really, I was cool with the original, the one that they just gave us basically. Uh yeah, I didn't need another J. Cole and Drake feature, basically, is what I'm saying. If they gonna give us this, like I felt like if they was gonna come back and give us they basically tried to give us the back to back on the track, J. Cole and Drake. And at this point, we have to just acknowledge the fact that Kendrick Lamar couldn't care any less. This nigga got a new haircut. This nigga had Tyler the Creator's concert. Tyler the Creator at his concert recently, Camp Flognaw, which I don't really know. I don't even know if I should even be saying that word, fam. What is Flognaw? I don't know what that means. It sounds crazy, fam. And I don't even want to begin to try to speculate what Flognaw means to Tyler the Creator. Whatever the case may be, that's still, we still got to salute because at the end of the day, I feel like, like I said, once again, the artists do need to kind of take the control back into their hands. So when I see a Nas launching the first annual Grandmaster Awards, when I hear about J. Cole and his Dreamville Festival, then Tyler the Creator kind of follows up. You see the domino effect start to happen, right? I just named out three artists. So I just feel like, yeah, we want to see more of that stuff trickle down, every artist is gonna go about it their certain type of way. My point is this, fam, because I completely digressed from my original point, which is that Drake put out a surprise album. You know what I'm saying? Scary Hours 3. He was talking really, really aggressive on here. All right, let's get to the bars now, fam. He was definitely talking. I don't really feel like, as far as like his bars on here, yeah, he was talking that talk on here. I'm not gonna hold you. 7 out of 10, man. Listen, man. Like I said, once again, is Drake my preferred cup of tea? No, at the end of the day, but we still have to acknowledge the fact that he's keeping himself consistent. He's keeping, you know, he's putting his, uh, his argument up for basically being number one. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to say you number one, but at the end of the day, fam, like Kendrick, at this point, my nigga, like, let me just address Kendrick directly now, right? Because I feel like he watched one of my episodes, low key. Like I told y'all on the last joint, Dave Free randomly followed me. I sent him a request 20 years ago, fam. You need to either there's an ultimatum here that I want to put on the table for Kendrick Lamar, fam. You have 48 hours, fam, to either announce your retirement officially or drop a goddamn freestyle or something, bro. I need a freestyle or a retirement from Kendrick, fam. Facts. Let's talk about it, fam. This has become like how many King Los is taking shots at Kendrick Lamar, low key, fam. Like I'm deep enough into the crates to know this thing. Like I hear the shots that people are taking. A lot of people are taking shots at Kendrick right now, and I'm not even gonna hold you. Rightfully so, fam. Rightfully so. Rightfully so, fam. You took 5 years off after you basically hypnotized hip hop and made us basically believe again. You know what I'm saying? You came and did some shit that we forgot that could even be done. And we all got on board and we was waiting for you to drop an album every goddamn time. When you gave us a classic, you came back with another classic and another. So we kind of got spoiled, is what I'm really saying, right? He took his 5 year hiatus, and granted, everybody has their different reasons for needing to take their breaks. I just quit 2 goddamn jobs, fam. I understand. Even on a 9 to 5 level, sometimes you just need to get the fuck away from some shit. Like this shit ain't it, fam. Let me just go sit down for a second and figure some shit out. But fam, you come back after 5 years. You gave us a great album, and we never gonna Mr. Morale. Let's be clear, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is a classic at this point. Absolutely. There's no way around it. He gave us a classic. Now, it's not we also have to acknowledge the fact that it's not quite what we was expecting, but at the same time, we can appreciate the fact that you're even bold enough to do something like that, right? But you could have easily used that moment to basically give you could have gave us damn near anything and we was gonna eat that up. At that point, So the fact that you still took the time to, and once again, when it comes to a full body of work, I still do feel like Kendrick Lamar is miles ahead. I'm not gonna say a J. Cole anymore, but when it comes to Drake and his bodies of work, I still just don't feel like he could really compete with Kendrick when it comes to that, right? Song structure and things like that. Yeah, Drake is catchy. He got certain little punchlines or whatever the case may be, but I'm spending too much time beating around the bush. Drake was on here talking that talk, fam, and that's all. That's all this really comes down to. He was talking about. He said that. Listen, man, a lot of people wasn't, he wasn't really sure if he was afraid of Pusha T or what was going on with that situation. But clearly, I don't know, man. He didn't really. I'm just saying, like, he didn't sound that scared on Scary Hours 3. You understand what I'm saying? He sounded like that was, it was a lot of, lot of subtle shots getting thrown, empty clips. You know what I'm saying? What was that on? It's only 6 songs. Hold on, let me look at this real quick. That was definitely on Wickman, right? So Wickman is basically a whole, which honestly, I'm still kind of not convinced, low key, right? Like, I see what you did there, but I kind of didn't really feel it like that though. I feel like Pusha T, when he was ready to go, he made it clear that he was ready to go, and you was quiet, and you ain't really want no smoke, and then all of a sudden you coming back, you doing little slick things. Cool, cool, cool. You put out Scary Hours 3. We applaud and we salute it. Kendrick is on the clock right now. You got 48 hours, fam. Announce your retirement from hip hop. I seen the goddamn clip of him at Camp Flognaw with that haircut, fam, and I almost threw up, fam. I almost threw up, bro. You at the Camp Flognaw? Why? Like what? Tyler the Creator. Respectfully, fam. Respectfully. I don't even want to go where I was getting ready to go, fam. What a Baby Keem? Were they about to do a collab album, fam? Cool. I'm listening. Give us something, goddamn it. A Baby Keem Kendrick collab album might be crazy though. In all reality, right? It's basically still a Kendrick album, is what I'm saying. So technically, a Keem Kendrick album is still a Kendrick album, right? I'm just not here for the, they've done certain tracks, and it's just like, bro, I'm not really sure what the direction is sometimes with Keem and Kendrick and that whole thing. You understand what I'm saying? Drake is making it clear that he wants to just rap and out rap people. J. Cole is definitely 1A right now. And we are definitely still awaiting the fall off. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that might be the start of season 3 right there. If the fall off dropped tonight, because like I said, I need to take a little break my damn self. I'm not gonna pull no Drake though. I'm sincere when I'm saying this, fam. Yeah, I need to, like I said, season 3, you know what I'm saying? We definitely want to come back with a better quality, better quality, you know what I'm saying? Quality over quantity, right? So that's kind of what the direction for, for the E.B.C.G going forward. You know what I'm saying? Drake put out 6 tracks, Scary Hours 3. I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm not sure, you know, what's getting ready to happen as far as the start of 2024. The fall off is definitely on the way. We know that. We know that. Andre 3000 definitely put out, his 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 debut solo album, fam. Finally, we've been asking for this shit for so goddamn long. We never thought it got to the point where like this shit became it almost became, you know what I'm saying? Like it was almost like Bigfoot, basically, right? Like people would spot it, people would spot Andre 3000. They were spotting him out on the streets of Soho in Manhattan, fam, playing all different types of instruments, ranging from flutes to guitars. I've heard it all. I heard a bunch of different stories about Andre 3000 out on the streets playing instruments. So yeah, we've been asking for this solo album, but fam, we didn't expect for you to come and do a whole. He put out a garage band album is what he did, fam. This is like some shit that like you go to the garage band app. I'm pretty sure like if I go to garage band right now, fam, I can put that same album out, is what I'm saying, fam. Andre 3000 literally told everybody to go fuck themselves, low key, is what he did. Like fam. I'm not here to be a goddamn, you know what I'm saying? I'm not here for y'all at the end of the day. Y'all don't just get to use me when y'all feel like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all want to choose me. So he put out some album, a flute album, right? Let me go to my garage band real quick and see if I can pull up this goddamn instrument, man. What flute was this? Because I'm not gonna hold you, man. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but obviously I went and I listened to some of it, right? And what I noticed off top is that there was a lot of different the song titles, right? I think that's kind of like probably like the biggest takeaway from the whole goddamn album. You know what I'm saying? The fact that the song titles are like these are like short films and shit, basically type shit. So hold on, fam. I'm about to pull this instrument up though. Is what I'm about to do. I'm not sure why. Hold on. Pause me up, man. Hold on. We gonna get. Man, this is the same dude that said the South got something to say at the Grammys. Ironically, the Grammys was right around the corner. We was just speaking about this. But you can't go and stand on the Grammy stage and say the South got something to say and then put your first debut solo album out 30 years later from that moment. And all we got, fam, was some garage band demo. Like this is like the, you know what I'm saying? The shit that you do in the studio and you don't release. This is that shit you do when you're trying to get into your creative zone and you want to hear different instruments or whatever the case may be to get you in your creative palette, or you want to clear your palette or whatever it is you do behind closed doors. This is that shit I do when I turn on the microphone before every episode. And I spend anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes of pre-pod and going back and forth in my head, notes and different the docket and what I want to how I want to intro the podcast and shit. I would never, hence the fact I edit every episode. That's why we have editing. That's why we have producing. That's why we have lyrics and lyricists. And Andre 3000 was one of our greatest lyricists. Now, personally, if I'm just keeping it all the way at Thou Wow, Andre 3000 was never really he didn't really never. I mean, I kind of understand. Like, listen, I'm hip hop. I'm hip hop. I'm hip hop. My hip hop card is you can't revoke it, you can't rebuke it, you can't deny it, right? So don't get me wrong when I say what I'm getting ready to say. I just it never really resonated with me, man. The Andre 3000. I just never really. I don't really have any Andre verse in my head that I could say that I've heard and felt like, yo, I really needed to hear that, or like I'm playing this back, or like now don't get me wrong when I say this again, once again, I'm hip hop, right? And I love music at the end of the day, fam. I enjoy more of his Outcast work, if I'm being honest. Like Outcast got some gems, I mean a couple of slaps that I really that I rock with or whatever, but I'm just saying as far as a lyricist, I was never really the biggest Andre fan like that, if I'm just keeping it all the way 100. At the same time, like I said, I understand, what he's contributed, and I kind of understand. I get it, is what I'm saying, right? I get it. Hold on, fam. What's going on with my. So, yeah, I say all that to say this. I was never really looking forward to this album, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have kept this shit. Like I said, once again, this is some shit you do in the studio and you don't release it, fam. And then this shit come out 20 years later as like a leaked, you know what I'm saying? As a leak or some shit. Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like he kind of trolled us. He low key trolled us, man. Andre 3000 is out here trolling people. Solo album out. I heard, like I said, I listened to some of this shit, and there's really no. I mean, how do you do an album review when there's no lyrics? Like I said, I do feel like this is something that I could create on GarageBand right now. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like I really heard. Like I didn't really hear the effort. Like even making it just an instrumental album or whatever the case may be, I don't feel like that was necessarily like. Like, yeah, I'm here for a good instrumental album. I enjoy a good instrument from time to time, but at the same time, I just feel like if you don't actually know how to play the instrument, it's gonna sound the way it did. And I just don't feel like there was actually any effort into trying to create a musical body of work here. It just sounded like a bunch of random, once again, you know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of random sounds uh in my ear. And I played this shit on headphones. I felt like, you know what I'm saying? I said the headphones, I might need to, it just felt like something that you needed to put the headphones on for, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to drop my album though at this point, fam. Like maybe me sitting here trying to drop episodes and podcasts and all, maybe I'm going the wrong route is what I'm saying. Maybe I need to, like I said, get in the studio one time. I'm chatting, man. Episode 48. You know what I'm saying? Once again, this is the season finale for season 2. Season 3 loading. You already know what it is. Everybody Can't Go podcast. The docket is closed at this point. We getting ready to wrap this thing up. Episode 48 has come to an end just about. But before we close this thing out, um, I would be remiss to not mention, basically what got the internet in a frenzy right now. And basically, Cassie, obviously recently just came out to basically expose, or reveal or, bring forth some information about one Sean Puffy Combs. I'm not even sure, like, what do we call? Is it still Diddy? Could we just like I want to just start calling this dude by his government name now. What's his official? Sean Combs. Sean Combs. Obviously, listen, man. I mean, you want to talk about this guy can't stay out of the goddamn headlines, fam. As far as controversy, this was kind of just like something that kind of broke. Oh, I feel like like overnight, fam. Like I'm not really sure when this lawsuit was filed. I feel like this was maybe like 3 or 4 days ago. But what we do know now is this. What we do know now is this. The lawsuit that was just filed 2 days ago or three has already been settled. So at this point, it's kind of just like, what are we talking about now? Is there anything to talk about? Huh? What is the conversation? What is the takeaway that we can get from this, right? Because obviously, there's so many different things that obviously, you want to get into the actual allegations and what was being alleged, the male prostitutes, and Diddy being alleged for, all these years. There was always these rumors about Diddy and his sexuality. They done posted every goddamn suspect Diddy picture that they can find. I mean, the internet once again is out here. The internet is out here destroying lives. That might have to be the title of this. Nah, that's not gonna be it. But what I'm saying is this, fam. It's just a weird situation when somebody files a lawsuit and then settles that fast because now it kind of it makes the both individuals in the situation look kind of funny in the light, right? You look funny because you kind of held on to this for all these years, and obviously Cassie, we haven't really been here. I don't remember the last time I heard a Cassie bop, respectfully, right? So I think it's safe to say that she's moved on from music, right? At this point, me and you can't still be on tour doing me and you, and that's it. Like you, at this point, you're gonna have to need another song to kind of transition into, is what I'm saying, right? And let me not do that, man. Cassie, I'm pretty sure she got a couple joints that I'm not aware of, or whatever the case may be. That's besides the point. She put out this lawsuit comes out, all of these allegations, serious stuff. Obviously, you don't want to ever make light of anything. When it comes to a domestic situation, there was abuse alleged, physical, verbal, the whole thing, fam. There was alleged, allegations of, underage being drugged and basically essentially forced. And that sounds absolutely crazy, but it also looks crazy when you kind of come out with that stuff years later and then you settle. within a matter of 72 hours. So now it's kind of just like, at this point, how do we take the next situation serious when we clearly see, when they're clearly showing us that this shit is all about the money at the end of the day. And if it's just about a money grab, and even if you may or may not, whether or not the individual in the situation is guilty or not, as long as they have enough money to get themselves out of the situation. I mean, and basically that's kind of how this all played out. So now for me personally, it's just gonna make it. And realistically, this is probably a, for the females, for the women or men, right, who are basically in a situation where they're being sexually abused or manipulated, and basically just going against the power structure and dealing with those type of situations in that way and in that manner. It's gonna make it that much harder for them now to come forward, right? This is for whoever those individuals are. I'm pretty sure they looking at this, and this is not. I'm pretty sure they not looking at those memes and they not laughing at those memes, fam. And it's I'm just keeping it all the way a thou wow. It's gonna be really, really hard going forward for me. I mean, I kind of already had a certain opinion about how I felt like these situations was playing out. I just felt like TMZ shouldn't be made aware of your sexual assault before the police, or you know what I'm saying? I just feel like there's other ways to go about that. If Harvey is the first person you go to with some allegations, I'm gonna look at you funny. I don't care what the allegations are, man. I'm just saying, like, so it was already difficult. Situations like this are only gonna continue to make those allegations that much more difficult. I don't want to harp on that, obviously. You know, at the end of the day, we're not gonna stay on that. We're not gonna stay on that. We're gonna go ahead and close out season 2 of the Everybody Can't Go podcast. Everybody can't go. Everybody got their own situation they gotta figure out clearly. You know, peace, love, and prosperity to everybody within the sound of my voice. Obviously, like I said, I can't. This ain't gonna be. If y'all think I'm ending the year with this episode, y'all got me. Y'all know damn well this ain't gonna be the. I'm probably gonna spin before the year's over. Even if I don't do a full episode, y'all gonna hear my voice before 2024 begin. Believe that, man. Mamba year's approaching. You know, definitely gotta. It's time to shake and move, man. It's time to shake and move. It's time to shake and move, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, World Matic TV is the name. Everybody Can't Go podcast. That is the game. Until the next time, I'm wishing you all peace, love, and prosperity for the holidays, obviously, and just for every day, because at the end of the day, every day presents a different, obstacle, but more importantly, opportunity. Be good, be great. Willmatic TV until the next time. Peace, love, and prosperity. One.